All right, everybody, I'm Logan Alec. I'm a CPA, and today I'm reviewing and walking you through here on screen another investing platform. Today I'm reviewing and walking you through the Webull app. Yes, this app is Chinese owned. I know a lot of people ask that question. I'll get into the ownership issue later in this video and why, despite its foreign ownership, I'm comfortable using it myself. Webull does have a new look for 2021 and actually just updated its interface a few weeks ago, so I thought this was a good time to do this review. Webull is possibly the most famous investing platform on YouTube these days because of its popular 2 free stock offer. How it works is you use a YouTuber's referral link, kind of like my referral link in the description, wink wink, and if you use their link to sign up for Webull, you get 1 free stock when you open your account and another free stock when you make an initial deposit of $100 or more. And yes, your first deposit must be at least $100. If you do one $50 deposit and the next day you do another $50 deposit, it won't work. It has to be one initial deposit of $100 or more to get that second free stock. So if after you watch this review and walkthrough of the Webull platform and you want to sign up, I would really appreciate it if you would be so kind as to sign up for Webull through my referral link in the description below. Deposit at least $100 in your initial deposit, get those 2 free stocks for yourself. But now let's get into the review. Like most of my reviews, how this is going to work is I'm going to first walk through the app here on screen, explain it all, and as I walk through it, I'll share my thoughts, both good and bad, on various aspects of the Webull app. And then after I go through the walkthrough, I will summarize for you what I believe to be the pros and cons of the Webull app, as well as some examples of people and situations that I think Webull is good for, as well as some examples of people and situations that I think Webull might not be the best fit for. So let's get right into it, kicking it off with the setup here. So if you use my link, you'll see this page with the free stock promotion. It's a fairly straightforward promotion, as I explained previously. Then you click sign up. You sign up with your email address, you set a password, and then Webull needs to send you a verification code. So you click get code. The verification code is sent to your email address. You get the code, you input it back in Webull, right, where it says verification code. You know how this works, right? I'm obviously not going to walk through the sign up process here because I already have a Webull account. I'm not going to create another one, but basically the next steps here to set up your Webull account would be to give Webull the information it needs to set up a brokerage account for you, right? It needs your name, your address, your place of employment, basic financial information such as your income and your net worth. Yes, you will have to give your social security number just like you would if you're opening any U.S. brokerage account. All that is very standard and straightforward. If you've ever opened up a financial account anywhere online before, this will not be anything new to you. So assuming you do all that, you set up your account, then you'll download the Webull app, and this is what you'll see. So let's walk through the Webull app here. The app has 5 main screens that you can see there at the bottom. The first one is Watchlists. The second is Markets. The third in the middle is simply the Webull logo. That is the main trading screen. The fourth is Community, and the fifth is Messages. I'm going to go through these screens and explain them left to right. I'll show you how to buy a stock in Webull and all that. But let's just start with the leftmost screen here, which is Watchlist. This is where you can create watch list. Obviously, a watch list is just a list of stocks that you may or may not have purchased that you want to keep an eye on and you want to be updated on at a glance. I can click add symbol here and search for Apple stock, for example, ticker symbol AAPL, which is an interesting ticker symbol because the word Apple only has 1 A, but its ticker symbol has 2 A's. I would think that APPL might be more appropriate. Anyway, I can add Apple to my watch list by searching for it here, tapping the encircled plus sign there. Then Webull will tell you in its broken English, exists my watch list. You can also do cryptocurrencies. So if I search for Ethereum, I can add Ethereum to my watch list as well. So now you can see these on the watch list there. You can see the daily chart for each and the price movement today. So that's the watch list screen, pretty basic. Now let's move on to the market screen. This is a little more interesting. Market screen is where Webull gives you information about various markets as a whole. For example, at the top of the screen here, the default view is to see the daily price performance of probably the 3 most popular U.S. stock indices. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, which includes 30 large U.S. companies. That's blue in the chart here on screen. The S&P 500, which features 500 large U.S. companies. That's in purple on my chart here, as well as the NASDAQ Composite, which includes all the stocks on the NASDAQ exchange, which is mostly tech stocks. If I click the 3 bars right below my picture in the top right, I can change the markets that are in my markets tab. For example, right now it's obviously the U.S. markets, the cryptocurrency market, and the global markets. But let's say I'm in Canada or Hong Kong or somewhere else, I can select other markets to add. Below those charts is the IPO Center, where you can place an IOI, which is an indication of interest in an IPO stock. To do this, just as to participate in any trading activity on Webull, you have to set your trading password, which you will have already set up when you created your account. So I input my trading password here. This is obviously blurred for privacy reasons. And then you can see an IPO that's going to be offered. You put how much you want to invest. There's generally a minimum. Then you complete the process. I've never done this. I've never invested in an IPO stock through Webull. And the thing to know with this is that it's quite possible that you will not receive your entire order or even any shares when you try to purchase IPO stock. Webull says that it's not guaranteed, and whether you do get a piece demands on the stock's demand, your past IPO participation, and other factors. Like I said, I have not personally purchased an IPO stock through Webull, so I can't speak from experience here. But if anyone out there has purchased IPO shares through Webull, please let me know in the comments how that experience was for you. Back on the market screen, below the IPO section is the advances and decliners distribution. This is basically showing you the numbers of stocks today whose prices went down. Those are the numbers in red, and how many went up. Those are obviously the numbers in green, and by what percent. Below that, there's also the net inflows and outflows for the day for particular exchanges, and below that, the top gainers and losers for the day. You can toggle that view for various time intervals. There's also most active and hot ETFs. I find the concept of hot ETFs a bit funny and questionable, because when you invest in an ETF, which I like to do with most of my portfolio, then in my opinion, and of course this is not investment advice, but in my opinion, you should be holding on to ETFs for the long haul, not because it's hot right now. By the way, if you don't know what an ETF is, be sure to watch my Investing for Beginners video. Link to that video at the top of the screen, as well as in the description below. Then you have the best performing industries for the day at the bottom. If you click on Explore under Markets, it basically shows you lists of various stocks and specific industries or trading strategies. For example, I clicked on gyms, fitness, and spa centers. Only 2 stocks in there. There's also the crypto tab where you can see the performance of various cryptos for the day. If you click on a particular cryptocurrency, you can see its charts and other information. Same as you would for a stock, as I'll show you in a bit when I buy stock in Webull. And yes, you can trade cryptocurrency on Webull. You would just select the cryptocurrency, as I've done here with Bitcoin, then you would tap the trade button there at the bottom. Right now, Webull lets you trade 8 cryptocurrencies, which are Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Zcash, Stellar Lumens, and Ethereum Classic. They say that access to more cryptocurrencies is in the works. Now, similar to Robinhood, when you trade cryptocurrency on Webull, you don't actually own the coins. You are simply betting on the price fluctuations. There is no wallet for you when you trade cryptocurrency in Webull. You cannot transfer cryptocurrency into Webull. You cannot transfer cryptocurrency out of Webull, to your Coinbase or BlockFi or Binance. All you're doing is simply betting on the price. That's it. Another downside of crypto trading in Webull is that while the crypto markets are in fact open 24/7, Webull says that crypto trading is unavailable from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time every day for routine maintenance and account reconciliation. That's pretty important to know, and it's quite a negative, because if you're trading around that time, you might be stuck in a trade that you don't want to be stuck in because you can't get out of it. So there are some definite downsides here when it comes to trading cryptocurrency in Webull. And in fact, Robinhood, which has a similar cryptocurrency trading feature where you're just betting on the price fluctuations and you don't actually own the coin in a wallet, Robinhood even doesn't have this kind of downtime, right? So I was surprised by this when I was researching Webull's cryptocurrency trading platform. Another downside is that while Webull says, we don't charge any fees to trade cryptocurrency, there is a 100 basis point spread on either side of a crypto trade. So what this is basically saying is that you may be paying 1% more or selling for 1% less than the actual market value of your trade whenever you trade. With stocks, they can't do that, but with crypto, it's still kind of the Wild West in terms of regulation, so platforms like Webull can do this. Obviously, if you're a serious crypto trader, you probably want to be using a platform like Binance or something. My Binance referral link is in the description below. Much appreciated if you use it. But yeah, obviously, if you just want to toy around with crypto trading, bet on the price of the cryptos, you can do that in Webull. But frankly, I feel that when it comes to crypto trading in even this kind of light version where you don't actually own the coin, Robinhood is actually better. At least it doesn't have that hour of downtime a day. Then under markets, there's also the global tab where you can see how international markets are faring. So yeah, in this market section, there's a lot to look at. Probably more here than in other trading apps. I like how the information is presented. So this markets tab is definitely a plus for Webull in my book. Now let's talk about the main trading screen in Webull, which can be accessed by pressing that middle button at the bottom. That is, of course, Webull's logo. Click on that and you were taken to your account. The screen itself has 5 different tabs. I'll go through them here. In the asset screen, you can see your account value, your open P&L. P&L, of course, means profit and loss. This is basically the unrealized gain or loss you're sitting on in your account right now based on the current market values of the securities you own. You see the market values of the securities you own in your account as well as your cash balance. At the bottom, you see your positions, which are basically the stocks you own in your account and each security's respective P&L. If you click on detail there on the screen, you'll be presented with more information about your account, a chart of your account value. Of course, you can toggle the time period there. Below that, you see your buying power and then your payables and receivables. This is the cash that you can expect to appear in your account soon. This includes dividends that you can expect to receive soon because they've been announced. This includes interest you can expect to receive soon under Webull's stock lending program. What's that? That is a program where if you agree to it, you can earn extra income on stocks in your account by allowing Webull to borrow the stocks in your account. Obviously, you're paid an interest payment for letting those shares out. As you can see, I don't make much per day, but then again, I don't really have a lot of shares that Webull lends out anyway. Next up is your asset allocation, which is basically the breakdown of your account by asset class. Then we have risk level. What does this mean? What is this referring to? So this risk level doesn't have anything to do with how aggressive or conservative your investment portfolio is, nor does it have to do with Webull's security measures. What this is representing is the security of your account from a maintenance perspective. For example, if you have a margin account, how close are you to having to pay a margin call, right? Or have you had any good faith violations in the past 12 months? You can see that there, GFVs in the last 12 months. What is a GFV? This is if you sold a stock today, so the proceeds haven't settled yet, but you use those unsettled proceeds to buy another stock, and then you sell that other stock before the proceeds of that sale, the initial stock, settles, right? Which is generally 2 business days after the sale date. If your account gets 3 good faith violations in a rolling 12-month period, then your account will be restricted for 90 days, and during that 90-day period, you can only trade with settled cash. This is for all cash brokerage accounts, right? Not just Webull. So on June 2nd, I played a bit with AMC stock, which is one of the famous meme stocks, by selling all the free stocks that Webull gave me for referring others to Webull, investing those proceeds into AMC stocks, and then all in the same day selling my AMC stock. So that triggered a good faith violation because my Webull account is not a margin account, and I sold this stock, bought stock with the proceeds, then sold the stock I bought with those proceeds all in the same day, which is obviously before the proceeds of the original stock sales has settled. I don't do this very often, right? And this is not investment advice. I did this with money I could afford to lose. It's just the AMC play happened so quickly and I wanted to get out and take profits, so that's what happened. So if we go back to the main trading account screen, and we go to P&L, profit and loss, you'll get a more detailed view of how the value of your account has gone up and down over time. You can see in the P&L calendar at the bottom of the screen, my account had a large P&L event on Wednesday, June 2nd, for over $1,800. That's when I made that AMC play in my Webull account. Actually, my full gains on this day across all my accounts was about $25,000. And I recently made a video showing you how I'm going to offset some of those losses or some of those gains with cryptocurrency losses. Make sure you check out that video, link at the top of the screen. Now, if we go over to orders, you can see the open orders that you've placed in Webull. I have no open orders right now. They're all closed. There's nothing to really show you. That screen's pretty basic. Then in the transfers tab is where you can move cash and stocks, I should say, into and out of Webull. So you can click deposit, then indicate the amount of money you want to deposit into Webull from your linked bank account. You link your bank account using Plaid when you set up your account. Just a few things to note. Your deposit may take up to 5 business days to complete, and you will be charged $30 if your deposit is reversed, which would happen if you try to make a deposit to Webull and you don't have enough money in your bank account. So I'm going to make a deposit of $16 because shortly in this video, I'm going to show you how to buy a stock. Or in this case, an ETF in Webull, and the current price of this ETF I'm going to buy is just a little under $220. And since I only have $214 or $204 in my account, I'm going to deposit $16 so I can buy that ETF. In the withdraw screen, you can withdraw your cash balance out to your bank account. This will take a few business days to complete. You input the amount you want to withdraw, then click withdraw. Back on the main transfer screen, there are options for you to transfer stocks into and out of Webull respectively. In terms of fees, Webull does not charge a fee for transferring stocks into Webull, but if you're transferring stocks out of Webull to another brokerage, Webull does charge a $75 fee. And keep in mind, if you're transferring stocks into Webull, the brokerage or investing platform you're leaving, that you're transferring your stocks out of, may charge a fee of their own, so always check first. Then at the bottom of the transfer screen, you can see your linked bank account. You can only have one bank account linked to Webull for ACH purposes at a time. You can also see your recent deposit and withdrawal history. Over in history, you can see the history of your executed orders. You can see all my sell orders there to sell all the free stocks that Webull gave me for referring others to Webull, as well as some other stocks I bought myself. Then you can see that on June 2nd, I bought a bunch of AMC stock. You can see the details of the order there. Then you can see how before the market closed, I sold these shares and then proceeded to put the proceeds entirely in the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund ETF, symbol VTI, because I know when I make little gambles like this and, when I win, the best thing for me to do is quit while I'm ahead, right? So that's what I did. Instead of trying to replicate this win on this gamble, I invested the proceeds into an index fund. And of course, index funds comprise the majority of my investing portfolio. If you've taken my Prosper course, link in the description below, you know this. Back in the main trading screen, if you click the little, settings icon in the top right, you're given a few options. You're given the option to open an IRA at Webull. An IRA is of course, an individual retirement account. You can open up a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA at Webull, as well as roll a retirement plan you had at a former employer into a new IRA. That option is called a rollover IRA, and it itself will be either traditional or Roth. If you don't know the difference between traditional IRAs and Roth IRAs, check out the link at the bottom, or check out the link in the description below, as well as right up here to watch my video where I go over the differences. Back to the settings screen here, there are some other options you can do for your account, such as change your trading password and enable fingerprint ID, so you don't have to input your trading password each time you want to make a trade. All right, now let's actually buy a stock in Webull. So to do that, I actually go back to the market screen, click the magnifying glass in the upper right-hand corner just to the left of my profile picture. Then you search for the symbol or name of the stock or ETF you want to buy. In this case, I'm going to buy one share of the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund ETF, symbol VTI. Before I buy it, this is the stock detail screen. You can see the chart, options, news, and comments from others in the Webull community. Also, in the comments tab, you can see the percentage of Webull users who made a prediction about the security, whether they're bullish, meaning they think it will go up, or whether they're bearish, meaning they think it will go down. Back on the chart screen, you can see the bid and ask, the recent sales, order flow, how much money is going into this fund versus out of it. But right now, I'm actually going to buy VTI here on screen. So let's camp out here for a bit. One thing I want to note is that in Webull, you can't buy stocks or ETFs with fractional shares. Okay, that's why I had to deposit money into my account in order to buy VTI. So Webull does not support fractional shares. What does this mean? What are fractional shares? So if a brokerage platform supports fractional shares, that means if you have $100 or $5 or $1 in your account, then you can invest in any stock. Well, any stock that supports fractional shares anyway. You can invest in most stocks with exactly the amount of money you have in your account, no matter the share price of that stock. So for example, even if Amazon trades at $3,000, that doesn't matter with fractional shares. You can buy $100 of Amazon, even if the share price is more than that. Other investing platforms I reviewed recently, such as Robinhood, Stash, Public, and One Finance, links to all of those reviews and more are in the description below. Those platforms support fractional shares. Webull does not. So if that's a deal breaker for you, then Webull isn't for you. All right, moving on with this purchase of VTI. Buy is selected by default. If you were going to sell, you would obviously select sell rather than buy. Below that is the order type. So one thing that sets Webull apart from some of its closest competitors, especially Robinhood, is that Webull offers more sophisticated trading options. Robinhood only offers market and limit orders. I'll explain what those are in a bit. Well, Webull has other order types, as you can see here. Let's go through some of them quickly. With a limit order, you're telling Webull to buy the stock or ETF, in this case VTI, at the price you set, which is the limit price or lower. Or in the case of a sell order, you're telling Webull to sell the stock at the price you set, which is the limit price or higher. With a market order, you're telling Webull to buy if you're buying or sell if you're selling the stock at the current market price, which may not be the last sales price you saw in Webull or Yahoo Finance or wherever. You don't know exactly what you're going to pay for the stock or sell the stock for when you place a market order. That's unlike a limit order where you set a specific price. Downside limit order, of course, is that the stock may not hit the limit price you want, in which case your order will go unfilled. Third order type here is a stop order. With a stop order, you're telling Webull, okay, execute a market order once the price of the stock hits the price you set. So for example, if I told Webull to set a stop order for VTI at $215, then if and when VTI hits $215, a market order would be created, at which point I would buy the stock at the current market price, which could be $215, or it could be less, or it could be more, because you don't set the price with a market order. Fourth order type here is a stop limit order, which is like a stop order, except instead of a market order triggering when the price hits your stop price, a limit order triggers with you setting the limit price. You also have the trailing stop, which on a buy says, okay, I want to set my stop price at a certain dollar amount or percentage above the lowest price of the day so far. So if you set your trailing stop at 5%, let's say the stock went from $110 to $100 today and is slowly ticking up. Well, the lowest price of the day is $100, so the price keeps bouncing off that $100 low and hits $105, for example, because remember in this example, we're saying you set the trailing stop at 5%. So if the stock hits $105 after falling to $100, a market order will trigger once the price hits that $105. It's the opposite on the sell side. Okay, so let's say the stock went from 110 to 120. Oh, but oh no, now it's going down. Well, once the price hits 114, which is 5% off the high of 120, then a market order would trigger. There are some more advanced order types in Webull as well if you look under group orders, but in the interest of time, I'm going to move on right now, having just covered the 5 simple order possibilities in Webull. I guess there's actually 10 possibilities because each side has a buy scenario and a sell side scenario. So for purposes of this video, I'm going to do a limit order to purchase 1 share of VTI. I'm going to set the limit price at $219.22. Then I click buy, and pretty much immediately I receive a notification that my order was executed actually at a lower price than my limit price, which was cool. So I ended up buying at $219.19. All right, now let's head over to the community screen, which you can access by tapping the little speech bubble, I guess, which is second from the right at the bottom. In the streams tab, it's basically just like a social media feed. Nothing too fancy there. There were a lot of folks pumping meme stocks in there, had a little bit of a Wall Street bets feel with a lot less primal depravity, let's just say that much. You can obviously create posts here, as I did. You can tag stocks in your posts. Also in the community tab, you can see the top news of the day. The 24/7 tab basically gives you breaking news as it pops up, regardless of how relevant it is. Then if you click watch list here, we will present you with news about the stocks and other assets on your watch list. This screen you can access by tapping the open envelope in the bottom right is the messages tab. This is where you get messages from Webull, various announcements or notifications about your account. Last part of the app here is the menu you can access by clicking your profile picture in the top right hand corner. There are various options here that I will go through. You can click your profile picture and you can change various things about your account. This is all pretty self-explanatory here, so I'm not going to go through each item here now. I will draw your attention to the promotion center, which is about 1/3 of the way down the main screen here. This is where you can see the current promotions that Webull is running. At the time of recording, it looks like Webull is running a promotion to win a Tesla Model 3. I've never participated in one of these giveaway things. You typically have to share the promotion to your social media, and then you'll get like a chance to win or something like that. In my opinion, the more lucrative promotion that Webull has on an ongoing basis is its referral program, where you send somebody your Webull referral link, or you post on social media or something like this, and somebody signs up with your link, and when they do that and they deposit at least $100 in their initial deposit, both you and they get a free stock. They change the number of free stocks from time to time. Right now, as of the time of recording, it's 2 stocks for the person referred and 4 stocks for the person who did the referring. And speaking of the Webull referral program, I'd really appreciate it if you use my Webull link in the description below to create your Webull account, deposit at least $100 in your initial deposit, and we'll both get rewarded from Webull. Now, because I have a platform, my YouTube channel as well as my blog, I'm a part of the Webull Influencer program, and that's where I run my referrals through. Hopefully I'll get some more in there after this review publishes, with your help, of course. But yeah, that's the Webull referral program. Back in the account screen, you can look at your alerts, set up your alerts. What are these? An alert is basically you telling Webull, hey, send me a notification if this stock price goes up a certain amount or down a certain amount, or if there's news on this stock. It's a pretty cool feature. Under favorites, you can see any articles you've saved from the Webull News section. I haven't personally saved any. If you click calendar, you'll see a calendar of events by date. These are typically earnings releases, ex-dividend dates, and things like that. Paper trading is where you can basically create a fake simulation account for yourself and trade stocks with fake money. You can buy and sell stocks in this, just like with real money. You have all the different order types available to you there in the paper trading. Under advanced quotes, you can pay a monthly subscription fee to get more insights into the buy and sell orders that have been placed on a given exchange for a given security. You can pay a small monthly fee for those insights. If you click on settings, there are some more things you can do. If you click on manage brokerage account, you'll see a screen that I discussed previously in this video. If you click on general, you can see some other options there, such as the language that's used in the app, the font size, and some other options for you. Under theme, you can select the color theme for the app. So that is my walkthrough of the Webull app. I hope that was helpful. Now, at this point in the video, I will be going over Webull's pros and cons, and then after I go over the pros and cons, I will be telling you the type of person I think Webull is good for, as well as the type of person or people I think Webull's not so great for. But let's start with the pros and cons, starting with the pros. Pro number one, Webull's free. That's not a massive pro these days, given that most brokerage platforms are free these days as well, but it still deserves to be said. Pro number two, Webull has no minimum investment to open up an account, though you probably do want to have at least $100 ready to go, so you can make that initial deposit of at least $100, get free stocks. Speaking of which, pro number three, the free stock incentive. Right now, as I said previously in this video, if you use my link in the description below to sign up with Webull and you deposit at least $100 in your initial deposit, Webull will give you 2 free stocks. First stock will be worth anywhere from a few bucks all the way up to a few $100. Second stock could be worth all the way up to over $8,000. So that incentive program is definitely pretty cool. I will remind you that any free stocks you get from these brokerage platforms have tax implications. And in fact, I made a video here on the channel called Are Webull Free Stocks Taxable? You can check that video out at the top of the screen as well as in the description below. Pro number four. Webull's news and data aspect is fairly strong. As you saw in my walkthrough, Webull offers and compiles a lot of data for you about how the markets are doing right now, a lot of data about your portfolio, about individual stocks, and they have different ways of serving you news from just the top headlines to breaking news as it happens, so that aspect was fairly impressive to me. And finally, pro number five, Webull is chock full of trading tools. I've gone over these in the walkthrough portion of this video, but for example, Webull gives you different kinds of order types than just market orders and limit orders, which are the typical ones. Some of the other free app-based trading platforms that only let you do market orders and limit orders, but Webull has other order types such as stop orders and stop loss and take profit orders, other order types that other platforms don't offer. Webull also gives you a lot of information about a stock at a glance in ways that many other app-based investing platforms don't. Of course, this can be overwhelming to some people, and I will discuss that in the cons section. Speaking of which, con number one. While Webull's trading tools can be very useful, they could potentially be overwhelming to newbies. Just compare Webull's trading screen with Robinhood's trading screen. With Robinhood, it's very straightforward, right? There's the stock. There's the buy button. You press buy, put in the order information. That's basically it. But now look at Webull's. The same basic inputs are there, but there's a lot more stuff going on all across the screen that a newbie may not necessarily understand and may feel intimidated by. Con number two, Webull does not support fractional shares. So this means that if you want to buy Amazon stock, let's say, you need at least a $3,000 in change in your account to purchase a share of Amazon stock because that's its share price right now. For other platforms like Robinhood and Public, for example, others I've reviewed right here on the channel, you can buy Amazon stock with as little as $1, right? And you'll own 0.000003333 shares of Amazon stock, right? Con number three, Webull does not offer dividend reinvestment. In many other investing platforms, such as Fidelity, which houses most of my personal stock portfolio, if you get a dividend from a company, you have the option of just accepting it as cash and letting the cash sit in your account or withdrawing it to your bank account. Or, as I prefer to do, you can invest the dividends in the stock that paid it out so those dividends can continue to grow rather than just sitting there as cash, right? Many other platforms give you the option to do what you want with dividends, but with Webull, unfortunately, if you get a dividend from a company, your only option is to let it sit in your account as cash or to withdraw it as cash. You can't choose what to do with it, right? You can't choose to invest it. So that's kind of a downside for me because I like reinvesting the dividends I get. Con number four, Webull is Chinese owned. Webull's parent company is a company called Fumi Technology, which is based in China. Fumi itself is owned 35% by Wang Anchuan, who used to work for Jack Ma's Alibaba Group. So look, I know that foreign ownership could make some people nervous to open a brokerage account at Webull and give over their private information, right? You obviously have to share a social security number and other private information to open a brokerage account. That said, Webull Financial LLC is itself an American company and is regulated by American securities laws, the SEC, and all that. Okay, so I decided to include this as a con because I know this is a con for some people. And if that's the case, I encourage you to do your own research on the situation with Webull and its ownership. I just want to bring it to light here so you can know what's going on and make your own decision whether Webull is right for you. All right, so having gone over the pros and cons, let's talk about who Webull is good for. Who's a good fit for Webull? Webull is good for those who have some experience with trading stocks or who want to learn more about trading stocks in a more sophisticated way than the average person. Webull is also probably good for someone who likes a lot of data and charts and graphs, because Webull will definitely give you data galore, data about the markets, data about your portfolio, etc. Now, who is Webull not so good for? Webull is probably not the best pick for those who just want to automate their investings, pick a few index funds, and set it and forget it, because the one thing that Webull doesn't allow is fractional shares. If you just want to dollar cost average $10 a day into the market in a bucket of stocks or ETFs, sorry, you can't do that with Webull. It doesn't support that kind of thing, and it doesn't really have that kind of automated investing that a lot of people who tend toward an ETF or index fund investing strategy have. For that kind of investing strategy, just set it and forget it, dollar cost averaging into the market, which is what I like to do. I recommend M1 Finance. There's a link to my review of M1 Finance at the top of the screen, as well as here in the description below. M1 Finance is a platform that I am increasingly using to build my portfolio and dollar cost average into the market. Be sure to check out my M1 Finance review if you haven't seen it yet. Webull probably isn't the best platform if you just want simplicity from your trading platform. There are other trading platforms that I reviewed, such as Robinhood and Public, that offer users a much more simplified way to buy and sell stocks. All right, folks, that is my Webull review. If you've made it this far to the end, you are a freaking champ. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really took the time to make it thorough and complete for you all, so thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you want to see more brokerage account reviews just like this one, be sure to check out this playlist right over here that houses all of my brokerage account reviews. And also be sure to check out my Investing for Beginners video right down here if you haven't seen that one yet. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in those videos. Bye-bye.